Foolio. The jury reached the verdict after spending hours deliberating tonight. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Chris Hurst is live at the Hillsborough County Courthouse tonight. And Chris, the jury handed down the lesser charge.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. Alicia Andrews had been charged with first-degree murder, but the jury had the option of convicting her of a lesser offense still related to the homicide of Julio Foolio. They did that, convicting her of manslaughter, finding her not guilty of conspiracy to kill Julio Foolio. The verdict was announced at about 10:30, so just about a half an hour ago. The jury deliberated for about 4 hours. The judge asked them around the 10 o'clock hour, do you want to stay and keep going, or maybe come back someday next week and continue deliberations? They all said they wanted to go back, get this figured out, get this finished, and we do have this verdict in the first of what will be many cases in the murder of Julio Foolio. It comes after Alicia Andrews testified this morning. There were closing arguments this afternoon. Now, during closing arguments, prosecutors told the jury Andrews helped plan the trip from Jacksonville to Tampa with her co-defendants, and she helped them stalk and hunt down Julio Foolio. They also pointed to her interview with police, saying she lied and covered for her boyfriend, one of the accused gunmen. The defense contended she had no idea about the plan, and Andrews testified she was, and still is, scared of her boyfriend and the ongoing gang war at the root of the murder. In the end, the jury made its decision.
We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1. The defendant is guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense.
Now, the judge has sent a date for sentencing for December 8th. As we've said before, Andrews is just one of 5 charged in connection to the death of Julio Foolio. That happened last year in Hillsborough County. Live in Tampa, Chris Hurst, 10 Tampa Bay News.
McKinley, Fowler, USF is directly across the street. The USF campus lays literally feet away from this hotel complex. Over here you can see it's a Holiday Inn. This is the portico right here where the shooting happens. What you will see in this evidence is that these shooters arrive here and they come in and they go around the north side of that complex. As Mr. Jones is sitting here at the portico with 2 other cars full of his friends, party-goers, people celebrating. His girlfriend was in the other car. He was a passenger. His friend Xavier Edwards was driving. His longtime friend Gino Norris was in the back seat. They pull in. The shooters come in this way, they go around, they come down here, and they park in this area.
Here we go again. So, obviously, you guys can see here and understand what it is that we're talking about tonight. First and foremost, you already know I'm your host, Dan, the Bishop, the Lord Bishop. This is the One Words podcast, man. The reason, basis, and the merit, man, is that most wars are started with words, and I usually begin my topic or my show like that. I do that for a reason, son. I show you how to do this, son. I do that for a reason. So it's like, just to keep you on course of what's going on. We talking about most wars. So you need to be very cautious in the words that you speak. You need to be very cautious in who you're speaking to. Okay. And you need to be very cautious with the context in which your words are expressed, displayed. A simple look what's going on right now in the government. Putin and Trump is like feuding hard about Trump saying that he's doing nuclear testing, and just the word nuclear alone, just saying test the nuclear, is so much power, that so you get what I'm saying. Just be conscious of your words, and use your words to inspire and motivate, man. But back to the topic at hand. The chat room. Back to the topic at hand. Uh-huh. This girl right here, a headliner. That's what we know. We know them as headliners. So y'all could see that this Alicia Andrews, she was able to, convince a jury that she really didn't know what was going on. She really didn't have any knowledge of the Julio Foolio plot. She never had any pre-perceived or preconceived notion or information or analysis or intricate idea in any form that she was going to Tampa, Florida, to stalk out, surveil, and brutally unalive one of her ops or one of her boyfriend ops. And so you have it again where you have, and the reason why this topic is so big with the Alicia Andrews and her getting off with the case, okay, is that you have to understand that, so these guys, right, and these are going out to most of our kings out in the hood that's getting caught up in this, in this. They're getting caught up, and they're getting caught up in this seductress temptation of, the fruit, right, which is misconceiving brothers and blinding their vision, and that's why these broads is lining them. This is what I'm trying to get to here. Y'all not, you look, read between the lines. Alicia Andrews is just showing you this is just coming into the public eye, understanding that, okay, and there could be higher or lower statistics, but it's almost a fact. Listen to me. It's almost a fact that 75% or more of our YNs and OGs that's getting mopped and whopped and TVs turned off and stretched, 70%, 75% or more comes from the lineup of a female, a girl, a woman that drops the location of these guys, where they at, okay, that's able to get in different areas and scope around and look around that guys can't go in. So this case is showing you, right, how the system is biased towards women, because she was in the, listen, the elements was proven, okay, for her to be, okay, aided and abetted, right, an accessory and all of those. In a case like this, she becomes equivalent to the principle of the case. She don't get lower penalty because of having lesser, what they would say is lesser a role, okay, in the actual plot of the convicted offense. No, it doesn't work that way. Any participation, whether large or small, gets you in the conspiracy, okay, and gets you the same equivalent penalty and charge, everything as the principal. So Alicia Andrews, because she was a girl, right? Because they trained her well about how to get on the stand, okay, and you can see that the court is clearly biased, right, towards the female gender, okay, they let it slip by, and they let it slip by, right, and now put a taint in the case, okay, and a high victory for the people, a high chance of victory for the people that's coming behind her. She set a precedent, a standpoint, okay, in the case. This girl should look at the not guilty jury verdict. Okay, she showed absolutely no emotion at all. Okay, when the jury, if they would have said life, right? If they would have said life, she would have been she would have been in the same state of mind. It was insane. Traveling around with the suspects all day, travel from 4 hours away from Jacksonville to Tampa. Okay. After the shots went off, right? After the shots off, what did you do, Alicia Andrews? What did you do, Alicia Andrews?
The jury find as follows as to count 2, the defendant is not guilty. So say we all, dated this 31st day of October 2025, signed foreperson of the jury.
All right, thank you very much. Have a seat. Does that decide wish for me to poll the jury?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, each of you, this is your true and correct verdict. I'm going to call you by your initials and your jury number. And I just need you to respond yes or no. Okay?
What did you do?
Juror number 5, initials DC. Is this your true and correct verdict? Yes. Juror number 13, initials LM. Is this your true and correct verdict? Juror number 14, initials SC. Is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror 21, initials EM. Is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 23, initials CJ. Is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 41, initials AM. Is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 42, initials LL. Is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 45, initials JO. Is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 58, initials SH. Is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 61, initials SM. Is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 62, initials PB. Is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 71, initials MG. Is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Okay. All right, very good. I have one final set of very brief formal instructions and then something a little less formal to say to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and consideration of this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for consideration of difficult cases. We have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, discussions, and votes should remain their private affair as long as they wish it. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are at liberty to speak with anyone about your deliberations, you are also at liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, from the media, from the attorneys, or elsewhere. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror. On behalf of everyone, we are indebted to you. We are so grateful that you all have agreed to serve as jurors. I would never tell anyone we have a perfect legal system. We do not have a perfect criminal justice system. But in my humble opinion, we have the best in the history of the world because, as you can see, we have citizens like yourselves. You come from all different backgrounds, experiences, and you come together and you decide these very difficult cases. We've asked a lot of you over the past 2 weeks. You all have never complained. You've worked diligently. And on just behalf of everyone involved, you all should really go home tonight and feel good about yourselves as citizens and the important public service that you provided on behalf of everybody. The good news is your jury service is now done. So you all are free to go. You're free to talk to anybody you want to about the case. You're free to not speak about this case at all again to anybody. And that will be left up completely to you. All right? Safe travels wherever you're headed. Thank you so much.
All right.
The good news is your jury service is now done. So you all are free to go. You're free to talk to anybody you want to.
Remain seated. Come to order. Court is now in session.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Have a seat.
No, where's the clothes to wash, boo?
Everything is down there. The uniforms need to be washed.
Okay, let me put them in. So as you guys can see, man, clearly, as you guys can see, this Alicia Andrews, man, she got away with murder, bro. She got away with unaliving. You understand? She got away with unaliving. No, where's the clothes to wash, boo? Julio Foolio. We gotta listen, Kings, I'm talking to y'all mainly, y'all brothers that's out there. You know, you in high profile situations, you got your jewels on, you got your money with you, you got bank cards, you got people with you that's heavy, y'all riding in heavy vehicles. Listen, you saw what just happened. Listen to me. Just imagine to yourself. So Alicia Andrews was in the car with one of the main suspects in the premeditated homicide case. So just imagine to yourself if she was a black male, right? Would the jury have been so lenient on her? You know, with, you know, the excuse that she had, yes, you know, pressure was put on her from Mr. Chance, Isaiah, her boyfriend, who happens to be one of the main central nexus parts of the case, okay, because it was his friend, okay, it was his best friend, right, that had gotten unalived, where they thought, they presume, obviously, from, I guess, maybe just what they do in Jacksonville, which is tell on themselves, right? That's what they do down in Jacksonville, Florida. Um, and most places the young brothers are doing now. What they do is they tell on themselves. They do the crime and they want to get the fame. You know, you want to do the crime, you want to get the fame, you want to do the fame, get the fame for being recognized as being that shooter, you know, as being that person that called the shot on the op, right? That person that called the shot on the op. In this case, is showing you, okay? This case is showing you how 75% of the brothers that's being involved in these shootings, whether they be rap, drill, whatever, 75% is going to boil down to some type of instance where a woman was involved, right? Guys get beef all the time over women. They both might be smashing. It could be a situation like that. You know, it runs deep. It runs deep, but you'll find out by connecting all the dots that 75% of the guys that's getting lined out there. Just look at the THF Bezoo out in Chi-Town, Chirac. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about out Chirac right now. Okay, there was a young female that got hit just a couple days ago. You know, in regards to that, right? In regards to that, you know, a female got hit a couple days ago. When the THF the THF crew came out and said that they needed 20. They needed 20, right? They needed 20. 20. They needed 20 back for the one for Bezo. Started with, you know, there was speculation. We don't really, we are under, you know, gathering the pieces and the you know, the understanding and the perception, just like you guys, you know, getting, you know, mostly from the streets. 75% of guys is getting lined with some type of issue with a female being involved. Didn't you hear the trial of Alicia Andrews? You heard the trial of Alicia Andrews. What did she say most of the time? Isaiah Chance, what was he doing most of the time? And this is what I'm telling you, how they gotten away with murder. Alicia Andrews just got away with murder. Even for manslaughter, she might not really get. In this case, you don't have to be a shooter to get the same time as the principal. You only have to participate in the most smallest way. And there's and the best evidence is your presence, right? Because she could have been like Trey. She had the time like Trey, right? You saw when it was Trey got out of that car. I'm talking about boys in the hood. Boys in the Hood, right? Y'all remember that scene, right? She was Alicia Andrews was that Trey. She was riding around in that car, and it could have happened at any time. So she want us to believe that each time that they crossed the path of Julio Foolio, she never knew it was Julio Foolio, never knew that they was looking for Julio Foolio or nothing in that manner, right? And we don't believe her. We don't believe her. But that's neither here nor there. Whether we believe her, the system, right? We know is gearing towards a certain degree of biasness, towards the men, especially black men. 4 black men together in a car, something goes down, they're done, gone. There's no one, I was not aware. No. You in the car at the time that assassination occurred or attempt. Isaiah Chance, what was he doing the whole time? The whole time he kept telling her, give me your phone. Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone again, Alicia. Alicia Andrews, let me see your phone. Let me see your phone again, Alicia. Let me see your phone again, Alicia Andrews. Right, that was the main thing she said in her. Why you think he kept asking for her phone? Because he wanted to know if she was communicating with anybody, if anyone was communicating with her, right? Because it is already well known that females can easily line you. Sometimes they can do it inadvertently. They could not even really plan to do it, but they could drop your locale inadvertently. In this particular instance, it was direct. It is and was direct. They knew, all of them was aware of what their positions were and what they were to do. Okay. And you'll find in these cases, 95% of the time, what usually happen, the guys kill each other or go to jail. And the female that lined both of them is still walking around on the street, like most of the time, right? Brothers need to be conscious of their surroundings. Don't be a victim of the headliners. These girls are headliners. They line you up. You know what I'm saying? They are headliners. So I'm thinking someone else is gonna come out and probably give some insight on this Alicia Andrews case. It shows the biasness in the system towards the female participant. Just imagine if Alicia Andrews was a black male and she was in the car with the suspect and they went through with the whole massacre, right? Imagine that guy coming back now trying to say that he didn't know what was going on when he was driving in the car. They wouldn't even listen. They won't even talk to him. They will not even entertain him at all. She was able to convince people seriously into thinking that she could look at a gun but not know what a gun could be used for. That's like the perception of the presentation of the expression that we got from her, even when she got on the stand, Alicia Andrews, we got that type of premise from her, right? Is that yes, this is a gun. This is a big gun, submachine gun, right? However, it's not really a gun. Doesn't do what a gun does, right? So I can drive around in a car all day, never see Foolio, never hear a word about what we're doing here, why we're going to this place, why we're driving, nothing like that. Never see a flyer, an Instagram post, or anything about where Foolio was going that night. Alicia Andrews, you're a real big liar. Okay. And we know that what you got away with, but what we want to pray for you and ask that you still have a chance in the future to do some positive impacts, especially letting young girls know about this perception of control that you say that guys can have over them, right? And how it affected you, Alicia Andrews. Use your second chance, because that's what you really got, was a second chance. Because if you was a black male, you would not be even thinking about talking to the judge about release, right? But by ambushing a hotel, recklessly letting off all of those weapons that any parent, any official, any teenager, any kid could have walked in that hotel at any time with his parents and been interrupted by gunfire. And you were a part of it, Alicia Andrews. Okay, and we know what you got away with, but that's between you and, of course, the higher source. You guys take care of that. Listen, like, share, subscribe this video. We're going to be back talking about part 2 of it. This is just the icing. The cake. Cake is yet to come. I'm your Lord Bishop. This is the War in Words podcast. Peace.